what I'm doing right now is trying to get myself a road in, like a path to work. Just get these big behemoths out of the way. Then I'm going to start hauling all the grubbins back. I better get a little bit away from that. Out of the way for now. So what we're doing first, if I explain, doing a little housekeeping. So I want to get all of this junk, like all of this chaff that wasn't chipped and junk, all this stuff cleaned up. I'm not going to grub anything out here because we're under guidance of winter excavation, laying fill. And after, I guess to say, up to or down to -5, we're all right. But, okay, so there's something big in there. But after -5, loose general fill will freeze in about 15 minutes. So then they would prefer, or they recommend, that you change to a loose rock if you're doing any fill. So we want to keep everything covered that we're not going to work on that day. Covered, you know, with if it's the root matter, the topsoil, the snow, the fill. So right from about here back, so that's the start of the borrow pit there. So I'm going to spend the next couple of days cleaning everything up, getting it organized, grubbing the borrow pit off up on the hill. Then all these logs, everything, there'll be a plateau here. So I'll start maybe 50 feet from there out, grub it down to the good soil, move the grubbins off over there where they're going to go, and then start baling the good soil out, plow it off, use the roller, roll it down. I feel that with this machine I can keep leapfrogging the fill out to about here, somewhere along here. Then we need to have the dump truck in. So that's the purpose, or that's the plan of what we're doing right now. And it's winter excavation that dictates that. Oh, I just want to get myself down in there and so I can start leapfrogging some of this junk behind me. When I worked for Dexter Construction, you know, we did a lot of road work. And when you would grub an area, you just start grubbing it, pulling it to you, but throwing it behind, building a pile, driving up on the pile, and then reaching out and controlling that area and taking it back to where it was to be buried. And that's going to be a nasty whatever's in there. But we'll see. That might be down below the fill mark or the grade. Going to use the rocks up front. That stake way up there, straight up under that left hand tooth, that's the center line. The grade will go out and come up, so probably it's going to be 30 feet wide. Both sides will sort of flare out. Use these rocks to build half moons and then drag nice 3-to-1 banks down. But you see right here where I'm here, I'm close to grade right here, running up. And it doesn't have to be, I don't want to call it this complicated, but the owner wants to build it to what we call the Red Book specs. Okay, I want to get some of this junk out of here. Start. It starts to look like something. I'll show you what I mean. My thumb is kind of backwards too. On my little machine. Building a road out of junk. And moving it back because we don't have a truck to load this stuff, so I've got to keep leapfrogging it back, and as long as I can drive up on it, then I keep pulling it behind me, and you get rid of this stuff. One whole summer I did this with Dexter Construction on the 102. But I'm not taking the grubbins or the topsoil off yet. Because we want to gauge that with the weather as it gets cold. right on the center line now, and the road will be 15 feet either side of that traveling surface. So I'm trying to gauge where we're going to need these rocks, chips, that kind of stuff. My God, it's nice having that much reach. Once I get used to the machine here, you know, the loader, or the, you know, that's pretty straightforward on all these machines. And keep stuff tucked under me. And now I can control both sides. Stockpiling my rocks and pull all my junk in. I won't grub that. I won't pull those stumps off. I'm just pulling the stumps off that are going to be under my track, so to give myself a decent traveling bed. But I'm also trying to give this stuff a presentation of what it's going to look like, and I'll do that once I get this junk out of the way. You know, I'll go up and I'll take that junk out, and then I'll try to square everything up here and then move it back and see what we got and make it look like something. And then once we know the finished grade, like what I would call top of gravel, well, then we know where, or bottom of gravel, then we know that's the top of the fill. So we get, first thing you'd want to establish is the grade of the road, and knowing we're going to have maybe 6 inches of gravel on it. So top of gravel, bottom of gravel, which would be top of fill. Drag that all down, all this topsoil, loam and junk, drag it down till you're in good mineral soil. And that was the reason for the tests, the pits. And we're allowed to come up 40 centimeters at a time, 16 inches. So we'd go down to good, clean, hard fill. And then I'd roll it. Get a base, get a good roll on it. See, this stuff right there is just loamy. That's all got to come off. That's not structural. And then when you find that, what you're looking, that base, then you roll it. Then we go to the Boro pit and we start hauling fill in and bring it up 16 inches at a time. Roll it. I think it's calls for 95% compaction, and then under the gravel 100% compaction. pretty good. The road goes that way, sort of on that angle, but I'm sort of building myself a place to go over and gather all the logs up. That will be the start of the pit right up there. So the grade of the road is actually probably close to that. But that mud will have to come off the top. And then once the pit is opened up, we'll take all the loam off of this and find hard bottom that we want. Not, we're not going down 8-9 feet. We're only going down till the loam is gone. And then the mineral soil's there. We'll roll it, and then we'll start bale and fill out and build our road. Got power. I don't want to take all that junk out there with me. So tomorrow, Sunday, I'm going to clean all that grub and junk off of there, and then clean the mud out of here and have a nice area set up. Some junk over in there. I'm going to clean all that up. And that'll pretty well look after all the housekeeping. And then we'll be ready to work. Beautiful day. It's cold, but it's just a nice day to work. You have to take a little time to sort things out. It's kind of hard to figure out what's going on if there's so much mess around you. And that's really, when you're doing this stuff with just a little 3.5 ton, and really all you're doing is the forestry side of it. But when it comes to the excavation side, you've got to control what's going on in the site. Get your rocks, get your grubbins, organics, all the other things, get them where you want them so you can actually see what you're doing. Well, as a working pad, I think it looks pretty good. Just nice to have everything cleaned up. Looks presentable. So we just had the meeting with the sawmill guy. We're going to grab those logs, take them up where the tractor is, put them parallel to the road, and then he's going to saw them. And what I'm doing up here now is I'm just putting a trail across the top here, so that I can reach down here, grub all this stuff off, put it above me, then the pit is open. This is probably the grade of the road somewhere along here. So, and the center line being, I must have knocked that one off. Right here, out to there. So I think it's 11 feet either side of that. Yeah. So some of this down here, without going too far into the pit, but when some of this is dug out, the slime and the loam and all that junk, that can be shifted over, brought down to grade and shifted over. Yeah, but you can see where it's going to, way out in front of that Suburban, there's our Tahoe, there's a stake out there, and then one there, and there was one here, but I knocked it over, and one here. Oh. Nice machine. Blade down, turning sideways with that. Thing's got some power. take the grubbins and just put them down in there. Put a little rock over them and cover them. Then we mapped out where they are. Just so, you know, when the future lots sell, someone doesn't dig there for the well or the septic. If you picture, the grubbins are there, pushed back, and then as I'm working back, okay, the first lift coming out, when I grub this all off, I'll make a nice level, you know, level it for my tracks, and then I can pick right out of the bottom bank and put in the truck. Then the next one, when I turn around, as I work down to that end, then I turn around and I pull those grubbins off and move them out and start working this ledge, and the truck comes in with me because that's gone. And work down here, same thing, work down there and work back this way. And push those grubbins back, and eventually we would have this cut down. I like 45 in it, cut right down, and the truck is following back in and out. And then those grubbins eventually just get taken down into the grubbin hole. Come in tomorrow. I think I want to clean up down in that corner. I'm going to ferry those logs out for Mike.